Good evening, and this is John Serra with Johnny's Diamond. Tonight I'd like to discuss something that a lot of people have been asking me about since the 2009 trade deadline video that I did. It's why Syndergaard stayed with the Mets despite all the hype of his leaving. Well, the question can simply be answered by Wheeler is also still a Met. That's right, Zach Wheeler is still a New York Met, despite also being heavily discussed in trade talks. Now, why did the two stay with the team while others left, considering they were at the forefront and pretty much surprised by the Zach Greinke blockbuster trade to Houston? Well, it's a simple equation. The Mets, unlike a lot of people's expectations, were doing very well despite being so far out of their own pennant race. They're only 5 games out of the wild card. Frankly, because in the last 7 days, the Mets pretty much took care of business, sweeping the White Sox, taking care of the Pirates in the previous series, pretty much proven that they can be a contender. That being said, Zach Wheeler is going to stay Met because the Mets got rid of Jason Vargas, who was going to be he was just like Wheeler, but Wheeler had a lot more team, a lot less cancer in the clubhouse, and that's why Wheeler stayed. And that 5-hit shutout against the White Sox was definitely one of the reasons that they decided to keep him. Furthermore, I'd have to say that besides getting rid of Vargas, they were able to get the catching prospect that they needed. In addition, they were able to score Marcus Stroman. That will be a very good addition to that clubhouse as well as the starting rotation. Now, I'd like to address that a lot of people really thought Syndergaard was up for grabs. He really wasn't. Truth of the matter is, any team that wanted Syndergaard would have to give up a massive load of prospects, would not have been ready for the Mets to have even used this year in the first place. So keeping Syndergaard rather than trading him was the smarter choice. 2, if you're going to score Marcus Stroman and add him to your strong starting rotation, why would you give up Syndergaard, who is pretty much, Stroman would have been replacing Syndergaard. It really wouldn't have helped things in the long run. In this case, it looks like they just strengthened their bullpen. If things continue the way they are, they have a good shot at catching that wild card. That second wild card is like I mentioned before, only 5 games out. Another thing I'd like to address is the Mets said we're going for it now. As far as the wild card is concerned, that's a possibility. Anything beyond a long run in the playoffs is a little bit on the positive side. Let's be honest. The only way they would have been going for it by trading Syndergaard would is if they scored Christian Yelich or another player like that. Players that would be way above what the Mets would be able to get for it. No team realistically would have given those players up. So the whole fact that Syndergaard was out there in the first place as a trading chip, I understand Wheeler, but Syndergaard, really? It looks like in the end, he was the carrot in front of the cart. He was just urging the people on, kind of dangling it for the people to see what would happen. I honestly don't think the Mets were even considering trading Syndergaard unless, like I said before, a massive trade would be in the Mets' favor. So that's it. I'll wrap it up right now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'll tell you, please subscribe to this channel, and I will bring you better coverage in the future.